This is the Bestway Steel Pro Max above ground swimming pool. So right now, I've got it set up right in my backyard, and as you can see, it's a round pool with a nice clean white look, standing about 39.5 inches tall and 12 feet across. In my opinion, that's a really practical size, big enough for family and friends to enjoy, but not so huge that it takes over the whole yard or intimidates you if you're new to owning a backyard pool. Let me start by sharing a bit about why I picked this pool and what I've experienced. I was honestly a bit nervous when it arrived, because I'm not the handiest person, but the key features and the promise of easy assembly were what caught my attention in the first place. It comes with a filter pump included, which is basically the thing that keeps the water moving and clean. And that's important if you want to avoid the hassle of murky water or lots of debris floating around. The setup process was surprisingly straightforward, and I appreciated that I didn't need a bunch of fancy tools or extra equipment to get it going. There's an instruction manual that walks you through step by step, and I found the instructions to be clear and easy to follow, even if you've never put together something like this before. Just lay out the parts, connect the steel frame, fit in the heavy-duty PVC liner, and you're almost there. I did need a little help stretching the liner smoothly, but for most folks, that's probably the trickiest part. From my experience, the frame is very sturdy. The pool uses what Bestway calls the seal and lock system, which means the steel tubes are designed to lock together tightly, making the whole structure secure. I was worried about leaks or flimsy spots, but after filling it up, everything held steady. The walls are made of this material called Tritech, which is basically 3 layers, a tough polyester mesh sandwiched between 2 layers of high-gauge PVC. It sounds technical, but what it really means is this pool feels a lot stronger than those thin inflatable ones you see around, and it holds up to a lot of kid energy, jumping, splashing, you name it. There's even a mosaic print on the inside, which adds a nice touch when you're in the water. A lot of people ask me if the filter pump is strong enough. The pump that comes included is rated at about 530 gallons per hour. I'll be honest, if your main concern is crystal clear water all the time, you might want to upgrade to a sand filter or a more powerful cartridge filter. But for my use, basic maintenance and daily swimming for the kids, it does the job just fine. If you stay on top of regular cleaning, checking the filter and skimming debris, you'll be all right. The built-in drain valve is also handy. When the season wraps up, all you have to do is hook up a garden hose to the valve, and it drains right out, a real back saver compared to buckets or trying to tip the pool. I really think it's perfect for families or anyone wanting their own spot to cool off during hot days, without committing to a giant permanent pool or spending a fortune. The size means there's room for a few adults to relax or several kids to play without feeling crowded. The round shape makes it easy to arrange in your yard, and you don't have to worry about sharp corners or complicated supports. Even maintenance is pretty friendly for pool beginners. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants that fun summer swim experience at home, but doesn't want to commit to something that eats up space year-round or is a pain to put away for the winter. Of course, there are a couple things to keep in mind. The ladder is helpful for getting in and out, but I found it a little stiff when taking it apart, and I noticed a spot that chipped after a few uses. Nothing major, but just something to watch for. I've also heard from a few people that local housing rules might not allow above-ground pools, so I checked my local guidelines before assembling it. If you have pets or sharp tools around, just be careful not to puncture the liner. The material is tough, but not indestructible. One thing I was genuinely impressed by is how easy it is to take down for off-season storage. Since the frame pieces all come apart without extra tools, you can dry off the liner, fold it up, and stash it in the garage or shed until next summer. That's a big deal for me because I don't have unlimited storage space, and I really didn't want something permanent sitting out in the yard all year. Maintenance has been pretty manageable. I try to cover the pool when we're not using it to keep leaves and bugs out, and a quick skim or vacuum every couple of days keeps things looking good. The most important thing is to check the water chemistry once in a while. Make sure you're balancing chlorine and AF, which helps prevent algae and keeps the water safe. The filter pump helps a lot, but keeping up with cleaning and basic chemical adjustments means you'll have clear water all summer long. From my experience, the Steel Pro Max looks nice, feels tough, and has honestly made summer at home way more fun for my family. The kids are in and out all day, and even with all their jumping and splashing, the pool frame doesn't move or tip. I'm 5'6", and when I stand next to the pool, the walls come up a bit higher than my waist. So it really is about 4 feet tall and feels roomy even for grown-ups who want to float or exercise in the water. If you're worried about the actual assembly, or if it'll really stand up to everyday use, I'd say don't stress about it. I was skeptical at first, but the build quality really feels above average and the materials hold up. All the connections are tight, and after weeks of daily use, nothing has bent or come loose. In conclusion, this pool makes it simple for anyone, even beginners, to get that backyard pool experience with minimal fuss. Please check the comments section for detailed information about the Bestway Steel Pro Max above-ground swimming pool. Thank you for watching.